Hey, and today I'm going to make a simple paper cut. The last one I made was an S. I'm going to go for a H today because I want to build up and make a home sign. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into new project and choose my letter. So add text. I'm going to go for a H. I'm going to do it in a capital. And the H I want as a gap. You'll see what I mean when I find it. And I've chosen the colonna. I like this because you've got your gap in the middle and it allows you to personalise it a bit. The size I am going for is 4.5. Now, what I need to do to decide on how I'm going to personalise it, I know that I want flowers and some leaves, swirls, and possibly a bird. So I just need to go and add all my images. Once I've got all of my products I like, I need to change the colour. So it all needs to change to black so that it can all be grouped together and cut as one piece. What you need to do is select each and every single detail, click on your colour, and just make it the same. I tend to work in black just because I feel it's a bit like a silhouette, so that works for me. Once all my colours are all the same, I can start grouping it. Then it's a matter of building it up. I've got my line and I'm going to try and place it on my H by whipping it round. Just placing it in there. Just so it creates a bit of detail. Now, it'll probably be easier to duplicate that. And flip it so it looks different. So there's my first piece of detail. Now I'm going to start building up the H. Okay, so I've got to this point and I'm quite pleased with the way the design's flowing. I need a bit more detail here. I need to put my bird on. But I'm just not sure how these swirls are going to cut because they're so fine. This is a good point to save it. I'm going to save it as a few separate projects. So I'm going to save it as H. Unlinked. In the hope that I can come back to this and edit it. Did you see when that built up how that was all in pieces? So the next step we've got to do is if you're at a stage where you're really happy with your design and you don't want it messing about with, then it's really worth grouping it together. So I'm going to group it. So you just select and group. Now, once you've done that, you can move it about. If you was to cut at this stage, it would still, even though it's grouped, it would still separate every little element. So you're not quite there yet, but if you group it together, it makes it easier to work with. And then I can move it down so that I can have my bird, which I think there. Then just a few more details and I'll be done. I think that's it. Happy with that? So now, one final group, and then once I've grouped it, I'm going to weld it. Now what let me show you first of all, actually, let me show you, if I press make now, it's grouped. That's what happens. So everything has been separated. So I'm going to cancel. I'm going to re-highlight and I'm going to weld. I'm going to see if I can save it as, so it will save it as a separate project. H, finished. Just put H. The reason I've done that is because if I open my H unlinked, I can change the letter and just move all the detail out and rearrange it rather than them to create and repopulate, resize everything. But then I've also got a H finished. They're ready to cut. There we are, ready with a H. So just looking at my sizing. Make sure my card is big enough on my mat, which it is. Make it. Then continue my device. So I've got my maker set up. I love the fact it's Bluetooth and I haven't got to mess about wires. That's just so amazing. My material, I would say, is a medium cardstock. Phantom point blade is in and I'm going to press go. Okay, so I will show you the finished result. I find the scraper works for me to lift. And then you can gradually pull away. There you have it, it's all weeded out. 1H paper cut. So I'm thrilled with that. I might work on the rest of home and make it as a sign. Hope you enjoyed it. The main thing to remember is that you group it, but then after you've grouped it, weld the project together. Once you've welded it together, that is how it will cut rather than individually. And that is why it's important to not overlap. So you can see there where I must have just overlapped a bit on that flower petal, and then you will miss just a petal off the cut. But overall, I'm really pleased with that. Really easy project to make at home.